TGIM, we're raising the standard. Happy birthday to America, right? 250 years. Think about that. For 250 years, this wonder-filled nation has continued to grow and adapt and stumble and learn, rebuild, innovate, and always move forward. Not because the journey has been easy, but because generation after generation, we chose to keep building something better. Freedom has always come with responsibility, and opportunity has always required effort, and progress has always asked us to grow. Which got me thinking, maybe that's true for all of us, whether it's a family, a business, a community, or a nation. Nothing stays exactly the same. Everything evolves. Some changes we choose, and some changes choose us. The question is whether things will change, or whether the question is, will we grow with them? Have you ever noticed that life has the funny habit of just when you think you've got everything figured out, and we've had this thing before, it changes the rules. The kids grow up and become ever more independent. Coincidence? Parents grow older. We all grow older. Technology changes, markets shift, businesses evolve. Heck, even a favorite pair of jeans mysteriously shrinks over the winter. At least my socks still fit. But everything does evolve. Some, again, we choose and co-create, and some, again, they choose us. Have we prepared for this? But here's what I've also learned, that the happiest people aren't the ones who resist the change. They're the ones who become curious about it. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? They ask, what is this preparing me for next? That's a completely different conversation. And here at Team Miracle, formerly known as Team Perka, I believe we're standing in another one of those moments. Not because our culture is changing, actually, it's because our culture matters so much. The no shame, no blame, synergy, yes, small, consistent steps, DWCTACHOCSSSTSSS. Yeah, it's so important that our most serving stress-free evolution is here now to choose to raise the standard, raise that bar again. Same values, same family, same purpose, just higher expectations. A little bit more ownership, a clearer communication, more accountability, more trust, both ways. Because here's the truth. A rising tide doesn't just lift the boats, it also reveals the ones with holes in them. That's not a judgment or boo hoo hoo. That's an opportunity to patch those holes, an opportunity to learn and to grow, opportunity to become the teammate we've always wanted to be beside us, right? By example. And as Jim Rohn said, don't wish it were easier. How about you wish you were better? I kind of love that because better isn't about perfection. It's about progress and evolution. Evolution. Although I love backwards, right? It's about choosing to become just a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more dependable every single day. Our A-team vision has never been about having the smartest people per se or the most talented people per se, though that does help. It's always been about finding the people who can be counted on every day, people who tell the truth, people who keep their word, who keep their promises, people who own their mistakes, people who care enough to help someone else, including the tribe, succeed. The Superca man or the Superca woman ideal. If you don't remember that, look it up. That's the kind of team that changes lives and makes us feel better. And funny enough, that's also the kind of team that usually wins. So this week, ask yourself one question. What standard are you raising in yourself, myself? Not because someone is watching or even someone else is asking. This is on you because that's who you choose to become for the biz, for the family, for everyone around. Opportunity is knocking again. And I hope we can answer together, every one of us, that we have this opportunity to choose those A-team habits and A-team consequences or rewards. Stress-free solution seekers, trusting, sincere, selfless service so that we are happier and more fulfilled and healthier and success filled with purpose. What do you think? Can we do that? Can we really do that this week? And remember, lead with love. That's where it starts. Have a great week. Cheers and ciao.